Well, listen, first of all, thank you for coming and for sharing your stories, sharing your private healthcare stories. It's exceptional to have it. And if there was ever a time for citizen action, it is right now and right here. Now, I was part of the Finance Committee when we created the Affordable Care Act. And while it is not a perfect law, as nothing is perfect in life, it certainly created a foundation where 9 out of 10 Americans now have health insurance, where we don't have to worry that we were born with a pre-existing condition, that we don't get discriminated as a woman and get paid twice as much as a man simply because they're a woman in their health care. Or that we are facing a terrible disease, as some of my friends have faced with cancer, and have a lifetime cap, and after you hit that cap, you're still struggling to beat the disease, but you have no more money and no more coverage. And that ended when we had passed the Affordable Care Act. So that's just the beginning, just the beginning. And we expanded Medicaid. And who do we expand it to? People who get up every day, do some of the toughest jobs in our state and in our country, but didn't make enough money to buy health care, didn't get health care at their place of work, and ultimately we gave them coverage and peace of mind and better health so they could be more productive for their families and their lives. That's what the Affordable Care Act did, and that's why hundreds of thousands of New Jerseyans now find themselves with health care coverage they didn't have before. So let's make no mistake about it. No matter what they call it, yesterday's vote to proceed was a vote to proceed to take health care away from tens of millions of Americans. I don't care what you call it, that's what they did. And now our fight is to make sure that across the country, in New Jersey with our colleagues in the House, and across the nation, going next door to Pennsylvania with one of our Senate colleagues there who doesn't see the light, and across the country, that we speak up in the greatest manifestation of citizenship we have ever seen, to say we will not permit the Affordable Care Act to be repealed and to put millions of people at risk. Now, I understand very vividly the story that you were sharing, because my mother had a long struggle with Alzheimer's, and my sister and I were her caregivers. And I understand the challenges of that caregiving. I understand the intergenerational challenges of taking care of our mother or father or relative, and trying to get our kids through college, and the challenges that faces and the pressures that are brought upon a family. The Affordable Care Act did wonders to help families meet that challenge. It is truly a family value that the Affordable Care Act has. It also, in a state that has the highest rate of autism in the nation, I included special provisions in the Affordable Care Act to make sure that families with children on the autism spectrum would ultimately have the health care that they need so that they could fulfill their God-given potential. So we are not going back to a time and place where millions of Americans and tens of thousands of New Jerseyans didn't have health care coverage. And so this fight is a fight for our families. It is a fight for our very lives, because for too many people, the choice between health care and not having health care means the difference between destitution and an opportunity to fulfill your life. That is what we are fighting for. And so I'm going to go back inside the chamber. We are going to fight and fight and fight, and we will never, never, never surrender on this issue. And we need your continued engagement and help. We need citizen action now more than ever. Thank you for what you're doing.